Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to cover the basics of list comprehensions in Python. To explain this concept, let me give you an example here. Suppose you're given this list, a equals square brackets 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. And for whatever reason, you want to create this new list, 2, 6, 10, 14, 18, and 22. As you can see in this new list, each element of this list is double that of the original list. So for example, the first element is double the first element of the original list. And if you look at the last element, 22, that's double the last element of the original list A. And one way to create this list is to use the append function for the list object. Now, just a quick review of the append function here. Let's say you have b equals square brackets, so b is an empty list. Then you can append a new element to this list just by writing b.append parentheses and whatever you want to add to this list. So let's say append 10, and after that, if you write b.append 20, you'll be able to add the number 20 to this list as well. So after that, if you print b, you should see 10 and 20 because those are the elements that you just appended to this list. And that's what you see here, 10 and 20. So with that in mind, you can complete the original task by first writing c equals square brackets. So by first creating an empty list. And after that, you can run a for loop for each element in A. So for, let's say, x in A. And again, the list A contained these numbers, 1, 3, 5, and so on. And then for each x in A, we're going to write c.append x times 2. And this way, once you finish running the for loop, and once you print c, what you should see is double each element of the original list A. So let's see if that's the case. And it is 2, 6, 10, and so on. Now you can do the same thing using a list comprehension with Python. For that, you can just write, let's say d, this is going to be the new list, equals square brackets x times 2 for x in A. And that's it. The way you can read this is that d is going to be a list in which each element of this list is going to be x times 2 for each x in A. So this is exactly the same as what we did earlier, but slightly simpler syntax. And then after that, if you print d, you should see exactly the same thing. So let's run this cell, and that's what we see, 2, 6, 10, and so on. Okay, now I'm going to give you one more example here. Let's say you want to create this list instead, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and 36. As you can see, this is 1 squared, 2 squared, which is 4, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, and 6 squared, which is 36. You can also create this list in two different ways. One way, just like before, is to use the append function. So for that, you can first create an empty list by writing, let's say e1 equals square brackets, and then for x in range of 1, 7, and then e1 dot append x star star 2. So x star star 2, that's how you say x squared in Python. And then once you print e1, you should see this list. So remember that range of 1, 7 gives us the range starting from 1 up to 7, but not including 7. So this gives us 1 through 6. And once you print e1, you see the list that we wanted. You can create the same lists with a list comprehension as well. For that, you can write e2 equals square brackets x double star 2, so x squared, for x in range 1, 7. And then once you print e2, you should see the same list here. And you do. Now, I'm going to give you one little exercise problem here. Let's say you want to create this list, 36, 25, 16, 9, 4, 1. So the elements contained in this list are the same as the previous list here, but it's just in the opposite order. So that's 6 squared, 5 squared, and so on down to 1 squared. Create this list in two different ways. One using the append function, and the other way is going to be using a list comprehension. Okay, here's my solution. The first thing you'll need to do is you'll need to create a new range that ranges from 6 down to 1. For that, you can write range of 6, 0, and then -1. This says create a new range that starts at 6 and then that it ends at 0, but not including 0. And instead of going up by 1, we want the range to go down by -1 instead. So that's why I wrote -1 for the third argument here. So if you, for example, print what's inside this range by writing for x in range 6, 0, -1, and then print x, what you should see is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that's exactly what you see here. And using this range, you can create the list that we wanted to create. Let's do that with the append function first. So here I'm going to write f1 equals square brackets. So create an empty list. And then for x in range of 6, 0, -1, colon, f1 dot append x double star 2, so x squared, and then print f1. And this gives us 36, 25, and so on, the list that we wanted. You can do the same thing, of course, with a list comprehension, just by writing f2 equals square brackets x double star 2 for x in range of 6, 0, and then -1. Once you print this, you should see the same list. You do right here. Okay, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions. And sorry for the delay. I stopped creating this series, but I got a lot of requests for more videos, and that's why I started creating more videos. Anyway, thank you as always for watching my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.